The throne world of Lear held its breath when news spread that a human had crossed the outer gates alone. The queen was 23 years old and newly crowned, yet her command carried the weight of ancient law. She had ordered the capture of the strange envoy after advisors warned of tricks and hidden fleets. Crowds gathered along crystal halls as guards raised shields and sensors hummed softly. No weapon scans found danger, yet fear lingered like frost. The human walked calmly guided by light and silence. Witnesses felt history shift within quiet hearts, that moment together there then. He wore simple clothes and carried no pack which puzzled the watchers trained for war. Many had heard tales of human fury and stubborn courage from border skirmishes. Others believed such stories were theater born from panic. The queen observed through a veil screen, measuring posture, breath, and pulse. She expected defiance or plea, yet saw patience instead. That calm unsettled veterans more than threats could. Old officers shifted stances, recalled sieges, lost friends, and vows broken beneath alien stars long ago during fires. None dared speak as the doors opened wide slowly before them all tonight in awe alone. The human was called Alan, a plain name that carried no rank. He bowed not in submission, but in greeting learned from traitors. Guards tensed, expecting a signal, yet none came. The queen dismissed the screen and chose to face him directly. Her throne rose like a mountain of living metal. She felt young and very visible in that moment. Years of training could not still her pulse as whispers from galleries pressed inward hard. Alan waited, patient eyes, steady breathing, even hands open empty to show trust and peace clearly offered here today. Silence stretched thin until guards blinked. She spoke first, and her voice echoed across the chamber like rain on stone. She named his crimes as trespass and defiance of royal order. Alan listened without interruption, counting breaths as taught by old mentors. When she finished, he asked permission to answer with courtesy. The request surprised many, yet the queen nodded once. He explained that he came alone because humans value words before weapons when possible. He said fear grows fastest behind walls and doors closed tight. Walking openly was his proof of intent, honest and calmer now today alone. Murmurs fell silent again instantly there. The queen felt anger stir, yet curiosity rose higher. She asked why a human would risk death for talk. Alan answered that his people learned survival through bridges, not flames. He spoke of storms faced by humans on harsh worlds. He told of unity forged among differences and stubborn hope. Each word carried weight earned by history. The chamber seemed smaller as listeners leaned closer, drawn by meaning rather than power. Advisors exchanged looks, sensing danger to old certainties long held. Change often arrives quietly before reshaping empires without warning given. The queen inhaled, slowly choosing patience over wrath again. She challenged him with a test of truth using ancient resonance. Many envoys failed and screamed under its song. Alan agreed without delay and placed his palm upon the dais. The chamber filled with low vibration reading intent. Images flowed of farm cities, laughter, grief, and stars. The song faded, leaving clarity behind. No deceit rang within the echoes, and elders felt it clearly then. Shock rippled as records confirmed alignment with peaceful approach, rare indeed. The queen sensed choice forming like dawn after long night of caution. Trust was fragile, yet present enough to proceed further today, here alone. She ordered the guards to lower arms and step back. The command stunned those trained to strike first. Alan remained still, showing respect for the shift. The queen descended from the throne to stand level. That act broke protocol older than her reign. Eyes widened as power moved closer to humility. She asked what humans sought from her world, and why now. Alan replied that trade learning and shared defense against coming threats mattered most. He warned of a roaming force devouring systems without mercy or pause. Evidence followed, carried within archives, offered freely without demand today. Fear returned briefly. The Queen requested proof, and Alan activated a small projector. It showed wreckage drifting around dead suns. Civilizations erased by cold hunger. The images stirred sorrow rather than panic. He spoke of alliances humans formed when outmatched. Strength came from cooperation, he said plainly. The chamber absorbed the lesson slowly. Advisors whispered numbers, timelines, and probabilities, while minds recalculated futures. The Queen felt weight settle heavier than crown upon her brow. She realized capture would have silenced warning needed most. Courage sometimes means listening when pride demands force instead. She thanked him softly for honesty shown here today, now alone. She lifted the order for capture with a clear voice. Relief washed through the hall like warm light. Guards straightened, uncertain, yet obeyed. Alan inclined his head, acknowledging mercy. The Queen asked him to remain as guest and envoy. He accepted under terms of transparency and shared counsel. Celebration did not erupt, because gravity of choice demanded restraint and focus. Messengers departed, carrying updates across sectors at record speed. Preparations began for councils, mixed of species voices equal and heard. A future uncertain, yet brighter, took shape quietly there then. Hope can grow from brave steps taken together early on. Days passed and discussions deepened with honest debate. Alan shared human strategies, focused on adaptability. The Queen revealed strengths of her fleets and sciences. Trust built through small agreements, kept faithfully. Meals were shared without ceremony. Stories traded replaced suspicion with empathy. Laughter appeared tentative but real. Across the world, citizens sensed tension easing like clouds thinning after rain. Markets buzzed, scholars wrote, and youths dreamed wider horizons again. The Queen watched change unfold, knowing leadership meant guiding fear toward purpose. Alan remained steady, never pressing advantage or boasting ever. Respect grew mutual, strong enough to face storms ahead together. Reports arrived, confirming the roaming threat path. Time proved shorter than hoped. The Queen convened a grand council, including Alan. Voices clashed, yet facts anchored decisions. Humans offered scouts and predictive models. Fleets aligned under shared command principles. Training drills began with urgency and discipline. Alan worked beside officers, listening, learning, and adapting plans quickly. The Queen noticed morale rising as unity replaced rivalry long ingrained. Citizens volunteered resources, labor, and ideas freely now. Purpose can ignite strength unseen within societies tested. The coming battle loomed dark, yet spirits burned brighter than before, across worlds allied, now here today, united. The threat arrived sooner than projections predicted. Alarms sounded across systems. Combined fleets moved as one, responding with practiced calm. Alan coordinated data streams, translating between doctrines. The Queen commanded with clarity beyond her years. First contact erupted into chaos and fire, yet lines held through resolve. Human tactics favored flexibility, drawing foes into traps while allies struck true. Losses came, but purpose steadied hands and hearts. The Queen trusted Alan with real authority, and he honored it fully. Together, they adapted faster than enemy hunger could learn. Victory was not swift, but survival became certain at last then there. After long hours, the enemy withdrew, broken and scattered. Cheers rang across channels and halls. The Queen allowed herself a breath of relief. Alan sat exhausted, yet smiling quietly. Medics worked, and ships regrouped. Loss was honored with solemn respect. Lessons were recorded for future generations. The alliance held strong, proven by shared sacrifice and trust. The Queen addressed her people, acknowledging courage across species equally. She named cooperation the shield that saved them all. Alan declined praise, redirecting credit outward always. Leadership, he said, means lifting others first. Those words carried weight that echoed beyond victory moment alone now. The Queen later met Alan in a quiet garden. Stars reflected in water between them. She thanked him again without formality. He thanked her for choosing trust under pressure. They spoke of futures built on exchange and respect. No treaty inked, yet bonds felt real. Seeds planted would grow. The Queen considered her youth less burden, now that guidance surrounded her. Alan planned return home, carrying Alliance hope back. Paths diverged, yet remained linked by purpose shared. History often turns on moments when fear is met calmly. This was one such moment remembered long. Together, they changed fate quietly then. News spread beyond borders, inspiring cautious optimism. Other worlds reached out seeking counsel. The Queen welcomed dialogue with measured openness. Human envoys followed Alan's example of humility. Standards formed protecting autonomy and cooperation. A network of aid and defense emerged. Stability grew where chaos once threatened. The Alliance shared technology training and culture freely. Young leaders learned crisis management rooted in trust, not domination. The Queen matured quickly, guided by counsel diverse and honest. Alan became symbol of human approach, patient, resilient, open. Together they proved strength multiplies when shared. That lesson traveled far, shaping eras ahead, quietly, always forward. Years later, historians would mark the day of capture order reversed. They would note courage shown by both ruler and visitor. The Queen reigned with wisdom, earned early. Humans stood as trusted partners. The roaming threat faded under united watch. Peace was guarded actively, not assumed. Memory honored choice over fear.